Zarna, did you have sex before marriage?
Oh,
I mean, and I'm here, Zarna. Just don't lie. Like, don't lie blatantly.
She lies.
it was not very, very deep. That's all I'm gonna say.
The sex or the sex?
No, the sex was a transitioning moment because we had already decided that other things were working. The family was working.
Okay.
We were gonna make this marriage
I
happen.
mean, it's a
and
yes/no question. Did you or did you not have sex before you got married?
Hello, namaste. Welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast where all 5 Gargs are in the house. And today's episode is going to be heated. It's going to be juicy. You're going to have an opinion about it. We're going to get right into it. Let me introduce my family. My husband of 26 years, Wall Street veteran, Shalab Garg. My daughter who recently graduated college, Zoya Garg. My son who is in college, Bridge Garg. And my middle schooler, Veer Garg. We're going to get right into the topic of what do we know about sex, part 2. When we launched this podcast 2 years ago, we opened with the episode, What Do We Know About Sex? And we were all shocked about what everybody else in the family knew or didn't know about sex. And we feel like it is time to do part 2 of this episode because people have evolved since then. Kids have grown up. There have been dating relationships. So much has happened. So let's get right into it, guys. What was the feedback from the episode of What Do We Know About Sex? What do we want to talk about in this topic?
Well, I was most surprised by how much Dad knew.
How much that? Zoya, I want to let you know that your mother had sex before she got married.
No.
Wow. Was that taboo, Mom?
I mean, with me, sorry, I don't know about others, but she and I had sex before we got married.
Let's not talk about anybody's ew. Let's not talk about that specifically.
So
but
what are we going to talk about then?
I mean more when you guys were dating, did you guys have a conversation about past history? How was that conversation brought up?
We never had a conversation about past history.
No, there was no past history.
You didn't ask for medical records?
Yeah.
I did not.
But I did. Yes. Because
I mean, I was living in Europe at the time when your mother and I were dating, but she never asked me for past records. No.
No, I asked for medical records. I didn't say, have you had any history with anybody? Because I knew that the medical records would reveal all. If there was anything in there that would matter to me.
Like what? I mean? What would matter to you?
Like if he had some kind of weird STD, I would like to know.
This back to school season, set your child up for success with Mathanasium, the math learning center trusted by over 1 million parents. Mathanasium makes math make sense through personalized instruction that builds skills and confidence. Start today with a free assessment at mathanasium.com.
And people go around lying all the time. People go around lying and making out with people and all. And I was like, I was not.
But why would anybody get an STD if they're using protection? I mean, I'm assuming that.
No, but there's like 100 different right?
Mom, do you think that anybody that me when I'm older, me, Baya, or Didi have sex with, we have to ask for their medical records before?
Yes, you absolutely should, because why would you be putting your own health at risk? I don't see anything wrong with that. Do you
I agree.
Not think that?
I agree.
I agree.
I just said I agree.
You're blushing and smiling and laughing for a
reason.
So how would that conversation go, Zarna?
Because
can you play that with me, Zarna? I am dating you for the first time.
Yeah.
And we have decided we're going to take the relationship to the new level and have sex.
Yeah.
Tell me how that conversation would play
exactly like this. Like, look, I need to
play the part. I'm going to play the part too.
I'm going to say I would like to see your medical records before we
I find that really insulting. What do you think?
I have to keep myself safe. I'm sorry if you're insulted.
I mean, like, what the F? Like, you don't trust me even that little bit? Like, what is the point of a relationship?
Anybody. No.
Like, all these dates that we've been going on, you've not gotten to know me well enough that you can trust me.
No, I have no idea.
Fine. I'm not going to provide test results, but we can use protection.
No, not enough. Because today there are a lot of illnesses that transfer aside from the protection. Not even, I wouldn't even want to kiss anybody.
So fine. I don't want to. How about we just keep it to the basics and don't have penetrative sex?
No.
Only blowjobs and kissing.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
No, ew. Okay. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this.
Well, actually, Dad, you were such a good actor.
I don't want to go to a doctor's office. It's so invasive.
Do you know how much more work it is if you get a disease that you didn't ask for?
All right, fine. You
Yeah.
can just do it. I don't want to see you anymore.
Okay, that's
Wow! Oh my god, the relationship just
fine.
ended?
Yeah, that's fine.
What
go
the
find
hell just happened? That
What
was like
just
the
happened?
weirdest thing that's
yourself
ever
a
happened in our
woman
podcast
who's
history.
desperate enough to throw herself at you, and then you can both figure out how to, yeah.
It's not like I want to be a baby daddy at 21 or 22
Well,
myself.
you're doing nothing to prevent it.
I'm saying let's use protection. I just don't want to go through the ordeal of getting tested.
You should get tested for your own benefit. You
Yeah,
should
that's
make
what I was
sure that
thinking.
You're clean. I'm happy. Let's get tested. Let's all get tested. Have a party around the testing.
Oh my
A
god.
party around.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Go
No.
find
I think
yourself.
there's something way more important that we should be talking about when it comes to sex, and especially when it comes to all the different components of it. And should sex be taught in school? What should that curriculum look like? What specifically should be taught? Do we care about it being a full year? Maybe it should be multiple years. Is it a class worth having in school? What are your thoughts?
Yes.
I mean, yes to it
Somebody
all.
teach you guys, because I don't want to talk to you guys about it.
Okay, well, like
You
guys,
didn't talk to us about
one of
it.
us is in school. One of us is in school right now, taking
So,
taking sex ed.
Veer, how is your sex ed class, Veer?
Okay, I have to be completely honest. Sex ed, at public school, the school does not have enough resources to teach sex ed. We are using books that are completely run down and broken and stuff. I think that the sex ed needs to be ramped up a little bit. But the idea of the class is very good. It's just that the teachers don't really care, to be honest. I just wish that it was a little bit better, to be completely
Well, I'm
honest.
also going to say that when I was in high school and middle school and we had sex education, not a single person I knew was paying attention. Like, that was like that one class that all your friends could just talk over the teacher. We didn't really care what was going on because, like, it's not that important of a class. They're saying stuff that, like, majority of people already know. I mean, how many times throughout your life are you going to be heard to practice safe sex? It's like, if you can't have a whole course on it because we already know you're going to say the same thing everyone knows, making it so detailed, like, we don't care. Where if you're in 7th grade, you're not going to be caring about what sex, like, health related to sex is going to look like. You're not going to be like, oh my god, the notes, I need to know how all the
I
anatomy
completely
works.
disagree. I was literally taking notes. I literally had an entire binder for sex education because I was so fascinated because I didn't understand any of it. Like, I was learning it all for the first time in that class. In fact, most of the people in the class were so surprised that I didn't know any of this information. And so I remember coming home from my first sex ed class and coming to mom and being like, dude, why didn't you teach me any of this? And she was like, what's there to teach you? And I started asking all these questions. She left the room.
Yeah, I then contacted your pediatrician to talk to you. And she
Well,
offered
Mom,
to talk
why?
to you.
I think the way that you kind of let all of us learn about this stuff is interesting because I've never had a conversation with you or Dad about anything like physical. So what's the thought process?
Like,
behind
why
it?
is it important for parents to do that? I always think about this.
I'm not saying it is
Everyone
important or
knows.
not
It's
important.
not like mom telling you is going to reveal any hidden information. The only important part of a parent giving you the talk is kind of explaining to them the repercussions of what could happen if you're not careful. Not when it comes to like making sure the consent is very, very, very clear. There's no gray area. Making sure that you're practicing as safe as possible so that there's no sort of like medical or baby emergency. I would say. I think that's the only part of it matters. But it's not like they need to explain to you what's going on.
I kind of disagree with you, Bridge, because I think first of all, I think the conversation for sex in general needs to be different for women and men, because there are different implications of the entire thing for women and for men. So I do think
What do you mean by that, Zoya? Explain that.
because as a woman, right, there's a lot more danger when it comes to sex than there is for men, in just historically, right? So having an open dialogue, I definitely think having open dialogue with my mom has been really important to me, because I've also gotten myself, not in like extreme circumstances, but I've been in circumstances where I felt like my privacy, like, not was like threatened, but I'm just glad that I have that open dialogue with mom. But that only happened because I demanded it of her, and she trusted me enough to have that conversation.
Zoya, I don't think you made me have any. I was there. I mean, I was happy to have.
No,
whatever
as in
conversation
I
you wanted.
was very pushy about asking you those questions. Would you say that's true?
Yes.
Yes, I was very pushy about asking you those questions, and I was really grateful that your response was so open-minded and not, restricted.
Well, I mean, what else can you do? What else can you do in America? It's not like I can say to you, just don't have sex, or don't meet anybody and don't have a relationship, don't date.
But Zarna, we never believed that either, right? we wanted our kids to date, and
Yeah, but Shalab, I don't think you understand. Like, you and I grew up in a world where people dated for a month and then they got married.
yes, that's
I mean,
true.
we were 22 when we got married.
Yeah. Mhm.
That is not the world these kids live in. They don't meet one person, date for a few weeks or days, and then go home to meet each other's parents. Like, this is a different world. So sex has a whole different meaning to our kids and that generation.
Mm.
They're not even thinking marriage. So it could be different people, it could be different circumstances. So safety is suddenly a much bigger issue. The reason our parents never talked to us is because they all knew the first person you hold hands with, you're going to get married to. So, like, how much danger is there involved? Everybody involved has never done anything. At worst, they've met one person before. So, considering that and the life that we're in now with our kids, it's a much bigger issue. I remember going to the kids' pediatrician and saying, you need to have these talks with the kids because I have no idea even what to say. Whatever I say is going to be wrong.
Why
To
did
be
you
fair,
feel that
Zarna, can I just
way?
say this? And of course, we're not going to take any names, but Bridge was in a steady relationship with one person for almost 2 years, and he's only 19. Zoya
But
was in a steady relationship with basically two boys, and she's 22.
but what's your point with
My
that?
point is that even though you're right that young adults date a lot more today than they did in our times, that's not been the reality of our young
But
adult
that's
kids.
not true. They're not married to any of these people. I mean,
I
there will
know.
be other people. I don't know how long their dating life is going to go on. I don't even know if they will ever marry anybody. Like, actually, their life is proof that what I'm saying is right. That it's not like they just met the person and within 3 weeks they were getting married. It's
No,
not at
that
all.
part is true that they may not be getting married, but they're also living a very kind of loving relationship life while they find the partner they will marry. In other words, it's not like they're dating a new person every 1 month or 3 months.
Nobody is saying that. But every time you have a physical relationship with somebody, loving or not, it is a physical risk. I
Yeah,
don't think one has to do with the
but if
other.
they're
There are
with
people
one partner
walking
for a,
around right now in America lying to their partners in very loving relationships about the diseases that they have, about the health illnesses that they're dealing with. They just don't tell people. And then the partner finds out after they contract it. There are actual legal lawsuits all over the country about this. But the
No,
woman
that's
finds
true.
out that the guy she was with had this, or the guy finds out that the woman had this, and it's nothing to do with the love involved. It
Yeah.
just is a physical danger that our generation didn't have to deal with because we all married young and we married without having too many partners to begin with.
I guess that's true.
Bridge and Veer. I mean, this is also specifically for Bridge because he's a little bit older and is in college right now. Do you feel like your guy friends are concerned when they go out and have had something to drink and they're, flirting with girls? Like, how does that conversation work?
Concerned about what?
Concerned about any consent related issues,
Oh
concerned
yeah,
about.
I mean consent is definitely the most like concerned about slash talked about thing for everyone in my at least in my like circle, because you really do not want to get into a situation and where like consent is not like the utmost clear. Like it should be crystal clear no matter what. Even if it's like 99% clear, it's not enough because anything can happen if consent is like blurry, right? Even if it's blurry, if there was consent, then there stopped being consent, or there was no consent and then there started being consent, like anything can happen, right? So that's definitely the most concerning thing. But when it comes about like practicing safe sex, I don't know a single one of my guy friends that's like going to meet a girl and being like, yo, we should get tested or something, or before, having an involvement with them. That's like very, very much not happening.
So what about you? What would you do?
What would I do? What do you mean by that?
Like, what
What,
would you do?
what
Would
do
you
you
say, "Can I have
mean?
your medical records"?
Like you have to give me like a situation. Like I'm like confused about. You can't just say what would you do? Like that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I know it sounds extreme to ask somebody for their medical records, but I don't think it's that extreme. But I understand that
I don't think
you
it's that
sense that.
extreme either. I think it's like very reasonable, but it's that's just not like a college thing. And in college, it's not like you've gotten with like 100 million people and where it's like a concern. Most people are. It'd be very rare to see somebody with some sort of disease. If they had it, that sucks. But I don't know. I just don't think it's that big of a concern.
I understand. But Bridge, did your sex ed class in school teach you anything about consent and how to ask for consent and
Yeah,
what
I
to
mean,
look for?
we've watched like 100 different YouTube videos, had 100 different lectures on consent. I think that again, when you're in high school and middle school, you just, at least in my life, like nobody cared. Like the boys or girls, not a single person cared. And that was like always the class that we considered like the sleep class, where you could just take a nap during the class because of how
Yeah.
useless it is. So because for that reason, no one really paid attention during any of that. Nor do I think we should have. I think it's, if you're a normal human being and you have like good mental health, or I mean, you're not like crazy, it's very clear what consent looks like and how you can make it so that it's like abundantly clear that both parties are consenting to the fullest extent.
Zoya, do you
Right?
If
agree with that?
consent
Do
was
girls feel that way too?
No, I don't agree actually here at all, because if consent was so clear, then we wouldn't have had historically so many issues with consent being so unclear in the conversation. I think the reason that health classes, maybe not just health classes, but the conversation around sex has gone so much better is because people keep getting drilled into them how important consent is. Like, there is a punitive nature that has now evolved out of so many circumstances where men have transgressed and not had those conversations up front, and then all of a sudden, they get in trouble. And so I think because of that, there's now this fear, so people actually have the conversation. I don't know if it's that clear. In fact, I think we have to be really clear about sex ed in order for people to understand what's happening. But I agree with you, Bridge. In my health classes, it did feel like people weren't paying attention very much. And I don't know, mom and dad didn't have sex ed growing up, for sure not. And I think about that sometimes, right? Like,
Did
you
you
guys
guys
didn't have
did you
any
guys not
version of
did you
that.
guys have it?
No.
No, we did not. But at the same time, it was starting to occur as we were becoming adults for classes behind us. So it was an ongoing thing. But no, for me, it did not. But at the same time, as your mother said, the dating culture wasn't an intimate one either. Dating qualified as just holding hands and going to the movies, right? It's not like sex before marriage was such a prevalent outcome, especially for middle class families, which is what I was a part of. Your mother grew up differently, but he had other personal tragedies to deal with anyway. But yeah. So that's how.
But my question for you guys, do you guys know of something known as a consent app?
Yes! How do you know about the consent app?
I've heard about this, that there
What
is
is
a
the consent
consent
app?
app
Yeah,
that you both people sign off on before they do anything. That this is a thing now.
that's a thing. Also, there are like, when you go into parties, sometimes in colleges, you have to sign into a form that like makes that you basically have to legally sign off on agreeing to the terms and conditions of a party. I've seen that.
No,
Yeah.
I think that this type of consent kills intimacy. I think that if you're signing, like, no, I'm not trying to sound like I know whatever, but I think that if you have to sign a contract to do things with somebody, it kills the whole point. Why would you do that?
It's weird. It's, of course, it's not ideal, of course, but unfortunately, we are in a world where there are misunderstandings, and then like this, an allegation like that can come back to haunt you and disrupt your whole entire existence. Like, there are so many lawsuits, there's so many allegations on both sides, and I have heard about people using this consent app or signing off on waivers before they enter situations, and it makes me sad, but it also makes me wonder, maybe this is the safety that we needed. Bridge, do you see the consent app at all on college campus?
No, I've never seen it once, and I just can't imagine people using it. Like, there's just no way someone would use it. I would use it now that like I know it's a thing because I think that's pretty cool. But I couldn't imagine other people using it, like going to a party and then meeting a girl and then asking to sign the consent app. I just can't imagine it.
Hello, namaste, welcome to the first time we have a guest in the house who is
Yes.
here to resolve a family feud. Please, everybody, welcome Lilly Singh is in the house.
Either to resolve it or to make it worse. Let's
No,
go.
resolve it, because Lily, you need to know whose side you're on, okay?
Lily
Before
Didi is
we
on
get
our
into it-
side. She's on the
No,
kids' side.
she knows who she's friends with.
I feel like my age is gonna be in the middle of both of you, so I might disagree and agree with some of you. So let's see. I'm gonna be honest though.
Okay, but mostly agree with you know who, okay?
Okay.
Right here.
I'll
over
mostly
here.
agree with the person in charge, and I know who that is. So
Yes,
Zarna, you
thank
babe.
you. I appreciate that, Lily. I appreciate that. Okay, so the question is, should we have sex before marriage or not?
100% we should.
No,
100%.
Bridge, like seriously, get right into
Bridge,
it
your
with
mom
your
had
students.
sex before she got
Growing
married,
up-
so I don't even
shut
know
up.
what
I
you're
was
talking about.
convinced that you shouldn't have sex before. Growing up, I was taught to not. But here's the thing I've learned. If you don't have sex before marriage, what if you get married and you have sex with the person you hated?
Yes.
You have to
Exactly.
know that there's
Exactly.
chemistry with the person.
How is it that the whole of India doesn't have this problem?
I don't
How
think
is
that's
it?
true for today's India.
I think they sacrifice
I think
like
I don't know if they're all happy. That's why they're cheating. I'm not saying all of India, but I'm saying that's why there's a lot of scandals, a lot of cheating, and a lot of things. I just feel like it's important. Same way I think you should live with the person. before
Zarna,
you
even
get
Shah
married.
Rukh Khan cheated on his wife.
That's
No,
such
shut up. We're not talking
Wait,
about
that's
Shah Rukh
really
Khan.
important,
Oh my
though.
God.
I don't think you should live with
them
somebody before.
and have sex with them. You should do both of those things before you get married, or else you'll hate them. You'll hate them.
Oh my God, Lily, this is not quite working out the way we had agreed prior to this.
But let me tell you, growing up, I was scared to have sex before marriage. I told all of my first boyfriends, I was like, I cannot have sex with you before I get married. And then you know what happened? I was single for a long, long time because they're like, forget this. We're not trying to be with you. So
Wait,
it
but hold
really
on, hold
was
on.
an
Were
issue.
they brown boys? Like, did they not
Yes.
come from but didn't they come from a world where they also shouldn't have sex before marriage?
Zarna, you need to know that that doesn't apply to boys. They don't listen to that. That's only for girls, and that's what screws us over. So I went
Yes.
from you cannot have sex before marriage immediately to why are you a virgin and why aren't you married?
Yes.
Like, literally, like it's like I have to be a virgin and then immediately know how to have sex, and it's hard. You need practice.
I agree. I feel the same way. Lily Didi, I have a question for you. Did you ask for medical records before you had sex with any of these guys? Like, did you just directly ask them?
I honestly, I respect that question. I didn't because I think back in the day we didn't have that knowledge. Like when I was growing up, we didn't have that confidence or knowledge. But I respect that, and I think you should.
Well, because Bridge said that he wouldn't because it ruins the whole conversation. Is that what you said, Bridge, or how did you
No,
feel
that was
about
Vera was saying it ruins the intimacy of the relationship. If you're meeting them for the first time, you're getting intimate, and then you're like, wait, we need to take tests before we do anything. Because
No,
you're
I
already
said-
in the moment.
I said
Please.
I said that it kills the intimacy if you have to like sign a contract to do anything with them.
Well, I
Yeah,
think there
but
should be a
it's a consent
conversation.
act.
I think
No,
you should
I agree.
ask.
Conversation is good,
Yeah.
but like an app with a paper and your whole like legal Gmail
Yeah,
and everything,
I
that
agree
kills it.
with the paperwork. Could, and nobody reads that in the moment. No one reads that.
I read it. I read it. I read it. even
You're
though
not
I'm
reading
married and I read it.
anything, Mom. You're
You're
not
married.
reading anything.
What are you reading?
No, but okay.
Wait, so am I allowed to ask, Zarna? Did you have sex before marriage?
Oh,
I mean, and I'm here, Zarna. Just don't lie. Like, don't lie blatantly.
She lies.
it was not very, very deep. That's all I'm gonna say.
The sex or the sex?
No, the sex was a transitioning moment because we had already decided that other things were working. The family was working.
Okay.
We were gonna make this marriage
I
happen.
mean, it's a
and
yes
then-
no question. Did you or did you not have sex before you got married?
Okay, I will say maybe there were some moments. That's
There
what
were
I
some
will
moments.
What?
say. There were some moments
You
that
think?
could qualify as sex.
Okay, so they're
Yes.
they're in the gray area on the fence.
Yes.
As you qualify.
No, listen, I'm not opposed to it, but I knew that I was going to marry the guy. You guys are in a different world. Every day is a new story. Bridge just told us that he thinks we should hook up.
Yeah, but Lily Didi made the perfect point. You need to know if you have sexual chemistry
No,
with the person
okay.
before you get into
All right,
serious relationship
so
with
she
them.
made the
You have to
point
be
that a lot
safe,
of
but you
people
need
are
to
in
know if there's chemistry.
relationships where they're not happy married with sex, right? But nobody in America is happy anyway. Even after the 15 situationships, everybody's miserable. Now what?
I don't know. I know one or two people that are happy. I do know one or two people that are happy. Not a lot, but I do know one or two. But I do think sexual chemistry is important. Imagine you love someone, like you're so into them, and then you go to have sex. You're like, this is terrible. Like I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable with the person. They don't turn me on. That would be horrendous. I mean, of course, there's counseling and therapy. Another thing
But-
that I know you believe
So
in.
what if the person is
I have
terrible
a-
and then the sex is really good?
Well, yes. Good question, Lily.
Oh,
And by the way,
that's
Lily,
an interesting
this boy is
question.
13 years old. I just want to
happening?
let you know.
Then you marry them, Vera. Then you marry them.
Then you go to level 2. Is the person rich?
Correct.
Then
Correct.
that changes the decision.
It's the person. Wait, so
I will say sex isn't everything. Sex is important, but I do think it's like, why would we not try to see if you had chemistry
Yeah.
before? I feel like it's important. And even more than sex, I go back to living with the person.
Yeah.
Living, and I know they see parents are so anti living with the people, but I want to know all their bad qualities and annoying qualities before I commit to marry this person.
I
Yeah.
think if you live with somebody for like a few days, why would you ever marry them? Everybody is annoying when they're in your space.
Exactly.
That sounded really personal. Like, that sounded like you felt that way about somebody that you might be in a relationship.
I mean, I'm not going to name names, but it has been complicated, and we are very happy that 2 rooms are empty in our apartment now.
But I feel like your kids are so like liberated in a way that they can even have this conversation. I need to know: did your mom give you the talk? Did she teach you
No,
about that?
She did
this
not.
is what we had this conversation about. So we never got the talk, right? We learned about this stuff during school, but you had our pediatrician have lectures with us.
Yes.
Why did you do that? Because that feels outside of their payroll.
No, but nothing is outside their payroll. I'm paying them. I know what is
They
their
do your
payroll.
taxes too. They're gonna renovate your driveway too. They do.
I definitely had somewhat of a talk where she didn't go deep into the details of like what sex is or whatever, but she did explain how important it is to get kind of consent and also just be so like overly careful, as you should be before having any sort of sex, because if there's any blurry line, your entire life is over, right? For either person, someone might feel uncomfortable, you might get in certain trouble, you might make them feel uncomfortable. Like, you need to be so careful.
I love that, but I love that there's still a bit of they see like fear in there. Where you're like, your life is over. It goes back, your life is over. It's over. Still a sprinkle of some trauma. I like that. Good job, Zarna. That's a good
Oh my god, a
balance.
sprinkle! It's a rainfall! It's a torrential downpour!
Yeah.
Okay, wait, can I make a hot take? I will say that I've been very pro having sex before marriage, but because of the way this sex culture is, it is very difficult to perform highly in sex with new people because everyone's had sex. So when you're about to have sex with someone you're already having a serious relationship with, if it's bad, it could just be because you guys haven't had enough practice yet. Where that wasn't a problem because you didn't know if it was good or bad at the start if you didn't have sex before. But now because you've had sex with so many different people and so much practice, it's difficult to know with that person.
Are you telling me that everyone at your age is having more sex than me? That's what that sounds like. Is everyone having more sex than me? So you feel like at your age everyone has had sex and they're really experienced?
Yeah, 100%. I would say most people I know have had.
What? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Fiktemu. Okay, well, that's crazy. I did not feel like that at 19. At 19, I felt unexperienced, and right now at 36, I also feel inexperienced. So that's a different generation right there. I don't know what to say about that. And even the girls?
I
100%.
feel like
But
everybody.
Lily, you should have seen Bridge is saying that girls are walking away and rejecting guys left, right, and center on
Yeah,
beach.
now on campus, guys are really turning into like simps. That word, you know, that word that's like guys are very much gonna do whatever it takes to get one girl.
I'm pretty sure that
All
word
the
is like
guys are doing that.
derogatory now.
What?
Yeah, but it's like it didn't used to be the case, but today it's like the women are like, no, thank you, and they just
Literally,
Yeah.
when I was in high school, I remember running home and calling my friend, being like, "Oh my god, I held Nick's hand." To hold his hand, I was like freaking out to hold his hand. And now, wow, this is a different generation. You see, good, but also good for you. You should be liberated as long as you're safe. I am all for this. I think it's better, Zarna. If you don't talk to them about it and you don't empower them, they're gonna just be messy on their own and make mistakes on their own and learn from sources you don't want them to learn from. You
Bridge,
don't-
what about safety?
True.
Is that Lily just brought that up? Are people being safe?
I would say they're being safe-ish. Like, most people are using.
What is safe? Oh my god!
Like,
Zarna,
safe-
you said you had sex-ish. Safe-ish. Area.
Exactly. I think
Moment.
it's most sex that's happening on college campus. It's through like people being drunk. That's like the number one reason why people are having sex. So because of that reason, they're not very, very safe because like they'll be in a mindset where they're not like thinking about all the different things to make sure it's safe. But there's usually condoms everywhere. But I will say it's definitely not everyone. Like it's
Wait,
very blurry.
Hold on. So are the women feeling pressure to have sex without the guy, like without without the
Protection.
guy, whatever? Okay.
I've had friends who've felt that pressure for sure because it
Right?
like quote feels better, and it's really really dangerous.
But
It's
then
a
are the
thing
girls
that happens.
using a different form
Yeah.
of protection?
Wait,
Like,
Zarna, is the word you couldn't say condom?
Maybe. Okay. Thank you, Lily. Thank you for getting in there.
Wait, you're getting pressured to have sex without a condom? I hate that.
Yes.
I hate
No, it's really bad. And I think it's getting worse and worse, especially with how lack of commitment is happening. Like, Bridge, wouldn't you say, how many of your friends are actually thinking about getting into relationships?
I'm not gonna lie, many of my friends are in relationships right now. Like most people have found someone in freshman year at the start, and I think it's because people are so scared of losing their person. A lot of my friends are in unhappy relationships, but they just can't end it. I don't know what it is, but the guys don't know how to end it. The girl just, it's just, it's just. I think it's cause like I don't know what it is, but they're finding they're finding it very difficult to end relationships in college.
Mom, I want to know. So in India, like, how does sex ed work?
There is no sex ed in India.
But everybody, there's like
Today's
a
India
billion
has
people.
sex ed, Zarna. What
Oh,
the?
yeah.
Like you're talking about 1,000-year-old India or
But you
something.
had sex ed in school?
No,
Shalabh?
but I am 50 years old, so of course I grew up in a different India. Like since social media and today, of course they have sex education.
Shut up. Sex ed in India, I guarantee you, is a teacher saying, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do not do it. There's too many complications. Are you kidding me? Like, you think India has become New York and LA now? That, like, people are
I
just
think it
like,
has,
oh,
for the
hold
most
it.
part.
I don't know. What are you talking about? We have friends right now who are like, I've never touched another person. They're 50 years old.
I feel like there's both. I do know that a lot of people in India are horny as hell, and I do know every time I go there, I see teenagers hooking up all the time. At whatever that
Also, it's the highest population country in the
whatever,
world.
wherever the place is the hookup spot. I know in Bombay, but then I think there's also people that are still reserved. But I don't know. I feel like the more reserved you are, the hornier you become. I really do believe that, and I do feel like in India, that's
Also,
why
it's 1.4 billion people. How do you think we got there?
Okay, whatever. We're not talking statistics right now, Shalabh. Killing the mood already with the sex talk. No. Lily, your movie, Doing It,
Yeah.
is about you being a sex ed teacher in a high school,
Mhm.
but you haven't had sex yet.
Yes. To clarify my character, I just want to clarify that the character I play is a teacher who has not had sex yet. Yes.
Yes. Yes, clarifying that Lily herself in personal life highly experienced.
Highly. I wouldn't say highly. I would say I practiced for the movie.
Yes. But I do think you must have grown up in a class in school with a sex ed class, as my kids are.
Honestly, not really.
No?
In elementary school, we had one 30-minute class with our gym teachers.
Where
like,
did you
about
grow
boys
up?
and girls.
Just for
In Toronto,
Okay.
Canada. So we only had one 30-minute class in elementary school that was like they divided the boys and girls, and all they taught us about was STDs and anatomy. They didn't teach us about sexuality. They didn't teach us about consent. They didn't teach us about anything else. And then in high school, we had health class, and it was the same thing. I feel like I've never learned actual important things about sex, or like for women, even that you could. Did you know, Zarna, that women can enjoy sex? Did you know that that's a thing? You don't learn that in school.
Well, but she apparently, I asked her, she said she's never had sex.
No.
So
Right, your
I'm
mom's
not
a virgin,
sure.
obviously.
Right. So I there's not much conversation there. But yeah.
My parents
Mom,
are also virgins. Shocking.
Right.
Yes, all Indian moms are. Absolutely.
Yes.
But did your parents have the talk with you, Lily?
My dad has never ever discussed anything like this with me. My mom sat me down one day because my friend called me and said she got her period, and I was like, cool. Didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. I asked my mom, like, what's a period? And she literally was like, sit down. 34 seconds this conversation was. She said, when you reach a certain age, you'll start to bleed. That means if you have sex, you'll get pregnant. Any questions? And I was like, I didn't know. I have any idea how sex even worked. I had no idea. And I just lived on like that. In fact, in high school, I believed for years, in high school, Zarna, I believed that boys could take off their penises.
What?
I did. Because I overheard someone saying something about it, and I was like, that makes perfect sense. Boys can take off their penises. I guess that's how that works. Obviously, now as an adult, I know if that was true, the world would be a better place. But that's what I thought. I thought you could get pregnant if you sat on someone's lap. My mom was always like, never sit on a boy's lap, never. And I was like, that's how you get pregnant. So I had all these weird beliefs about sex.
But we are so lucky because Lilly Singh has not only written, produced, and acted in a movie that is going to teach us all, set us straight, make us laugh, and give us a dose of this topic and so much more in her movie, Doing It, which is in theaters starting September
19th. Yeah.
all over America. People, go find it, support our girls, support the movie.
But also, if your parents never gave you the talk, I'll do it for you. Go watch
Yes,
it.
yeah.
If your parents didn't give you the talk, or if you're a parent who doesn't want to give their kid a talk, take your kid to this movie.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna have so many opportunities to get into it. Because I know, listen, I'm taking my kids just so they can talk amongst each other and figure out.
I'm taking the work away from you. You don't have to do any of the work. You don't even have to parent. Just take the movies.
I'm all for taking the burden off of me. And Lily, you have done such an amazing job, not only for us parents, but for the brown community. make such a ballsy move, making a movie on a topic that most brown people are afraid of touching from with a barge pole. You not only made the movie, you wrote it, you produced it, you're acting it, you put your money in it.
I did. I put a lot of my money.
Lot of money she's put into. People, this is not a joke. Getting a movie made is so much work, so much money, and she's out there hustling every day trying to get eyeballs on it, and it's so fun. Finally, not a brown woman crying and weeping movie. Please,
Yes, that's true.
everybody, tune
Instead,
in,
she's
go
just
with
messy
your
and
friends.
horny.
Mom, go with your mom friends, dads. Maybe you'll learn something about sex ed in the sex ed class. And kids, go with your friends, your high school friends. Ha ha, hee hee, giggle about it. You will learn a thing or two. All the characters are so fun. I watched the movie at South by Southwest. This is a delight, a change for the Indian community. And let's all show up. Everybody, you're brown, you're Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, wherever you're from, you all have the same problems that we have. None of us know what we're doing in this topic. And Lilly Singh is in the house today. So everybody, if we had to give one A grade to Lilly Singh's comment, because we end every episode with an A grade, because we have to. I give an A grade to one winning thing that Lilly Singh said today in the topic. Everybody go. Who wants to go first?
I mean, the penis comment was insane. That was really funny.
Did you really believe that, Lilly?
I did for so many. I want to lie and tell you for a little bit, but I think for like 4 years.
Yes.
4 years. I'm gonna give my agree to her comment about the talk that her mom gave her for the 34 seconds.
You stole my A grade. Okay,
It's so funny.
I'll give my A grade to a little bit of a parallel. I see like a kind of a symmetry between Lily Didi and biological Didi. To the like, I see that like both of both of your guys' parents just kind of like ignored the talk. It kind of just like left you guys, threw you guys.
Mom, that's not a talk.
That's not a
Mom.
talk.
That's not a talk. I got the same talk, by the way. I got the same talk, and
We have the same trauma. Real
Yeah, it's the
recognize real.
same
Real
trauma.
recognize real. I see you.
I'm gonna give my A grade to Lily for talking about how is Bridge's generation just having more sex than everybody else. Because when we were having this podcast episode, the whole time I was like, I guess I'm asexual. Like that was my
Literally.
takeaway.
I've never felt more like a loser than talking to you. Truly.
You are not, Lily. You are a clean sweep A grade with the Gargs. Not only are you not a loser, you're the biggest winner, an icon in South Asian comedy, an icon in comedy in general, and the biggest baller in Hollywood right now for putting your money where your mouth is, for putting your money behind this movie.
Thank you.
Everybody, I better see you at the movie theaters doing it. Releasing this Friday, September 19th, all over America. Doing it. Go catch it now. Support our friend Lily. Post a photo of you guys. Tag Lily, tag me. We're watching.
Yes, we're watching. Thank you so much. I've never felt more seen by a family. Adopt me, please. I want to be part of the family, please.
Thank you so much. Everybody go do it this Friday, September 19th in movie theaters. Bye, Lilly Singh.
Bye.
Bye. The Zarna Garg Family Podcast.
Bridge, you talked about like quote when somebody gets with somebody. You know what I mean? Should we talk about hookup culture for a second?
Yes.
Like, I feel like when I was in high school and college, there was a real distinction between kids who would engage in hookup culture and kids who wouldn't. And hookup culture has become so prevalent amongst all the social circles that I see and am like around. And it feels like this way of avoiding commitment, which I do think is a very new thing. Is that what you guys are saying too, Bridge and Veer?
I agree, but I'm actually a big fan of that because I do believe that commitment, like there's so many different stages of a relationship now, and I honestly think it's
What are
good.
you a fan of? Just so I know, what are you a fan
I'm a
of?
fan of having it so that you're able to have an intimate relationship with somebody before fully committing to that person being your partner.
I'm just going to take a quick break to tell you about our sponsor for the day, my personal favorite, Mathanasium, an academic center that celebrates math. Can you think of anything better? Everybody needs math, and set your kids up for life with a membership at Mathanasium. Find an assessment center near you. Get started wherever the kids are. Let them do math with lots of their friends, their neighbors, their classmates, or let them learn to love math by themselves. It is such an outstanding program. The teachers are so good. They find the kids wherever they are and keep pushing them along so that they always stay on track and often ahead of whatever their school grade is, because they are experts in mathematics. I'm telling you, do not wait for your first report card to show up. Start the year off strong. Listeners today can get a free assessment at Mathanasium to start the school year off strong. We believe in this so much. Go to mathanasium.com and find a center near you to redeem your free assessment. That's mathanasium.com. Don't wait.
I'm a fan of having it so that you're able to have an intimate relationship with somebody before fully committing to that person being your partner. And I think that because
that's
it's
not what she's talking about.
That is what I'm talking about.
that is what she's talking about.
No, hold on. I thought you meant hook up with many different people.
Hookup culture to me is defined by having several consecutive relationship-esque situations. It's also known as a situationship, where you're texting with one person and you might become intimate with them and you might go on a few dates, but it's not a relationship in the traditional sense at all.
But Bridge has not lived that life, so I'm surprised he's saying that.
I haven't. I completely agree with that.
I came here.
That doesn't mean I didn't observe my friends throughout all of these processes.
Why are you guys laughing?
I don't know why they're laughing, but and make objective stances about situations.
Okay.
Can you explain your point? Because I disagree with you. Can you explain your point on why you?
Can you explain?
Bridge, guys, can I ask a simpler question, Zoya?
Wait. Can we finish this thread? Because
I want
to
talk to.
Wait,
what? Why do you think that hookup culture is? Can you just explain your stance on that?
Yeah. Okay. Couple things. One, I think that it's great to be able to understand if you have a good intimacy with a girl prior to getting into a deep commitment with her. Because if we're being honest, the way that you interact in a sexual manner with a girl does have a huge influence on whether your relationship is going to work. If you do not get along sexually, you are not going to be in a long-term relationship with that person because it's just not going to work out. And it's good to be able to see how you guys mesh together in that sense prior to you getting into a deep commitment with them and kind of like testing out the water, meeting new people, seeing who you mesh with, talking to them, like being able to get a little bit of intimacy with nothing serious, but a little bit prior to making a commitment to who you want to be with. It's just like, I don't think it's as serious as people make it. It's like, if you kiss somebody, oh my God, you have to date them or this has to be this. It's just not that serious. I actually, hot take, I actually think like shows like Bachelor in Paradise do that kind of well in the sense of like,
what did you say, Bridge? I didn't follow that. Say that again.
I said, you know what the show Bachelor in Paradise is?
No. Oh, Bachelor in Paradise. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
my
Love
mom
Island
talks about it a lot. Yeah, Bachelor. So The Bachelor, and it's like basically where you're able to kind of test your intimacy and conversational skills with many different people of the opposite gender at once, and then eventually you and your match kind of find each other throughout the experience of seeing who you work with, who you don't work with, and then you end up being with that one person singularly. Now, I think that The Bachelor in Paradise, the issue with the show is that the fact that because they're publicized, people are more in it now for the publicity rather than the actual experience of finding a match. But I think the practice of it does make sense. And it's not ridiculous to kind of do that in a high school / college manner. I mean, again, I never did that. I was always like very much committed to one person at a time, but I see my friends do it and it worked really well for them.
Do you think? Wait, hold on.
Who are you talking about? No, it did not work really well for anybody.
Do you think it's just no? I don't want to. I'll just say justified. Do you think it makes sense if two people are hooking up with no intention of a further relationship, with literally just the
Friends
idea?
with benefits?
Not even friends, just benefits.
How could you? Wait, I don't think that's like a thing. What do you mean, just benefits? Like, there's never been
two people,
like you're strangers,
just,
but
no,
No,
not
this
strangers.
happens all the time. This happens
Like,
all
no,
the
it
time.
doesn't. That does not
Yeah,
happen
it
all the time.
does.
Strangers with
hold on.
benefits?
Hold on.
What are you
Like,
talking about?
If two people just meet at a party and just hook up because they both think each other, they both.
Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. I have no issue with that. I actually would encourage that. If you go to a party, it's great to learn how to gain that confidence to be able to go up to a girl and ask them for their number or something. I love it because I think that, it gives it so there's no strings attached. If you guys both just want like a little bit of pleasure, the ability to kind of do something you've never done before with someone else, like I think that's a great idea, great practice in theory. I have no issue with it
What
whatsoever.
happened to romance before intimacy?
Do you think?
If you want that, you can. You guys are acting like this is so ABCD, like black and white. If you want romance or intimacy, there's many people who do. I'm just not condemning the people who don't want that.
But Bridge, it seems like more and more the boys don't want romance and intimacy. It seems more and more
The
that
girls don't want, dude. You are crazy if you think that. The girls are actually just as, if not more, like. Most of my guys that I know, especially in like the brown community on campus, a lot of the guys are looking for girlfriends and then just like keep getting rejected by all the brown girls. And the brown girls will like go from friend to so many different things. Like I'm talking about brown people, but that's really the whole campus. the girls are rejecting guys much more like insanely than the guys are rejecting girls. And like guys are simping over girls looking for relationships right now. The girls are not. They're not having that. 100%.
Yeah, what
Relationships are
about
just
you? Do you
not
think
in.
romance is like dead?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm listening to Bridge talk, and I'm like, I should just be with somebody asexual. Like, I need to be with somebody who's not interested in this stuff at all. Like, I want to be with somebody who's so nerdy, and like, this is not like this is just a completely different world to me. What Bridge is describing, I actually think a lot of what he said has a lot of merits. I lean more towards Veer, where
Wait, I have a question for the pod.
What is Veer's position on this?
Wait.
Veer is 13.
Okay, do you guys think that having that type of friends with benefits, no friends relationship devalues a person?
What?
Wow, no, Veer,
No.
that's a great question. That's a,
Oh, that's a
lot
great
of people
question.
feel that.
Devalues what
If
person?
if a person goes and hooks up with 10 people in the span of a
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
just solely for the idea of pleasure and wanting intimacy with no strings attached, does that devalue the person because they're
Yes.
giving out
No.
Yes.
themselves so
No.
freely?
No.
How can you
Give
say
away the milk for free, the cow no one will buy. Yes.
Oh my God!
women
Who
are
is
not
the cow?
cows?
Huh?
Women is the cow?
And is it okay for somebody to say, no, I will not do anything with you because you have a past of...
Yes. Both are completely fine.
Yeah, no. The second thing, yes, Veer. I think yes. Mom, how can you say that as a woman? That's literally slut shaming.
No,
I
it's
know, but
not.
I'm saying shame.
He didn't
both sides.
ask it. He didn't ask
Yeah,
it towards
I'm saying
women.
it's a man
Yeah,
or
what are you
woman
talking
thing. I'm
about? He did
saying
not
it's
say,
both
is it
sides.
okay for a man to say it to a woman?
No, yeah, I'm
A
saying
woman
for
can
both
also
sides.
say it to a
For
man.
either side.
Okay. I thought it was just from the
I think that
woman.
if there's a
No.
ridiculous, if you as a man or woman have been intimate with like an extreme, like 100
Yeah.
plus people, that should definitely be something you consider before getting in a relationship with them.
Not even
Now,
100. Like, okay, 100 is really extreme. Not even 100. I would say 5.
Okay, hold on, wait. I want
Five
to
is
more...
not- 5 is 1 month.
Crazy.
No, I want to stay more focused on my
That's
first question.
ridiculous.
I want to stay more focused on my first question. Does it devalue a person
Yes.
to do that?
no. How could it devalue someone if they want to pleasure themselves? Like I don't understand how that devalues you. Where can you explain how it could whoever thinks it devalues, can you explain how it could possibly devalue you as a person?
Bridge, people see it. Sometimes women say this all the time where if you like hook up with somebody who's less attractive than you, then your value as an attractive person goes down or something because you were able to settle for something that was less than what you're worth or something. This is a thing for sure.
That's
that
not what I'm
people
saying.
think
I'm
about.
saying if you're just willing to hook up with anybody just for the idea of just like a quick pleasure, does that make you like...
A
I'm
less
going to tell you, I'm not slut shaming men or women, but if somebody's out there thinking that just connecting with any person who's available and who's around and quote unquote pleasuring themselves has no repercussions, they're wrong. There is
What repercussions?
there is an
You're
individual
wrong.
level- No, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you don't know you're wrong, and you're more wrong for thinking that I'm wrong. Because to think that there are no strings attached is not a thing in a physical relationship. There are always
Yes,
strings
it is.
attached.
It 100% is, and I will tell you right now why it is. Because if you are a college boy on campus and you go to a bar or you go to a frat and you get with a girl, you might not see the girl for like the next 5 months, and there's literally no strings attached. And that is like the story of
Or
like
she
many
might be
students on
or
campus.
she might be in your biology class sitting next to you.
So
You
what?
might
It's just
not-
not that Actually, this exact example happened to my friend who was in my first year writing seminar, where he had an intimate relationship with a girl one night, and she was in the same class with us. And guess what? It just wasn't that serious. Like it just wasn't. And I still to this, no one has explained how it could devalue you as a person if you go out and get with people like on a night, or if you do it like a couple times in a month or 2 months. No one has explained that. I still do not get that perspective.
It's kind of like you're giving yourself out easily.
Yeah.
and you're
You're
not
easy.
taking the experience.
That's not
You're
making you
easy.
easy. That does not what being easy means that if anyone wants to get with you, they can. That is not the same thing as you
That
going
is-
out and
if
seeking.
you are-
No, it is not. If you are going out and seeking people that you find attractive, that may be
Wait,
higher
when
attractive
I
levels
was
than
your
other
age,
people,
I
it's
used to-
not.
Shut up, your mic. It's like very hard to hear what you're saying.
Oh,
Get in
I
there.
am on Yeti. Let me
Yes,
move
but
it.
you're sitting like a mile away from the mic.
Okay. How about now?
Yes.
I
I
want
used to take a flight from Europe to see your mother before we got married for a weekend. And your mother used to spend all her salary, because we didn't have mobile phones at the time, on her telephones. Telephone bills were like half, maybe 3/4 of her salary.
I can't believe
there
how
was
in love you guys were.
And the whole phone call was like, what do you want to do with your life? What do I want to do with my life? It was that kind of chit chat.
Yeah.
That's also
hours and
not
hours.
true. I swear Dad says that your conversations used to be much more romantic than you make it seem, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, Dad,
You
be
act
very
like you
honest.
literally
you act
were
like you have a
not.
very
But that
technical
is
tax
romantic,
relationship.
planning a-
Bridge, ask the question again. I didn't hear you.
My
Ask me
question to
again.
you is that be very honest. Within your early relationship with Mom, like very early when you guys were conversating before you were married, did you guys talk about more romantic things like going on a date or just different things like that? Or was it all like money focused, life focused?
But it's not money focused, life
I
focused.
mean, the
We
question
were
is to
building
me,
a life
Zarna. Can I
together.
answer it?
No, but he's just somehow like, I'm the villain always in
But
these podcasts.
no, because why are you
Because
so
we're building a life
offended?
together
The question
is
was
also
literally for
romantic.
Dad.
It doesn't-
Why are
How
you
is Dad the only
offended?
one
Okay,
not
alright,
speaking
answer
right
it.
now?
Okay, all right, answer it. Sir.
It was very romantic, Bridge. It was really romantic. It was not about money. It was very much about romance of every kind. Now, it was not sexual. We didn't have sexual conversations, but it was very romantic. I
That's what I
remember that
assumed.
1 year to be a very romantic period of my life.
Why are you
See?
looking away so
Yeah, I'm
for
not.
long?
He just to prove a point with you guys, he has
He would
failure.
never
No,
lie
what
about
the
that.
F?
What are you
Like-
talking about?
But did we shut up? Did we or did we not talk about building a life together? What job you want to do? What I want to do? Are you acting like we didn't talk about all that
That
for
was
hours
part
and
of the
hours?
romance. Yes, we did talk
So
about
explain that to them without
No,
making me look
but Mom,
like the villain.
you
or-
Why
you
are you
you don't
screaming?
ever acknowledge the other part of the conversations you have. Of course, that's part of the conversation. That's part of every
Zarna,
relationship
did you or
conversation.
did you not wear a schoolgirl uniform to pick me up from an airport?
Oh my God! Nobody cares about the
Wait,
uniform. That
what?
is
That's
just completely.
What the
insane.
hell?
Mom, what are you like? Do you have a whole nother life
Mom,
you
Can
just
you
have
just
never told us
answer it as
about?
a yes or no? Did you or did you not?
Oh my God, this is like the
Mute his
number
mic.
one
It was
most
better when we
exposed
couldn't hear
thing.
him.
Hello, namaste. Just taking a quick break to tell you about our sponsor for today, ZocDoc. This app makes it so easy to make doctor appointments. It's all in one place on your phone. Stop delaying the things you know that are due. Your dental cleaning that you've been pushing off. That rash that looked kind of funny and you needed a dermatologist and never got to it. What are you waiting for? And stop taking medical advice from social media. My social media feed is filled with the latest health trend. Olive oil shots every morning. Red light therapy will fix it all. Please go to a professional. ZocDoc can get you there very quickly. And as I get older, I'm always stressed about something. I need to worry about my sleep. Is there a problem about this? Is there a problem about that? And I keep pushing it off, and it is not good. There are now tools that can help us get those appointments quickly. The days of waiting on a phone call forever are long behind us. Please check out ZocDoc right now and keep yourself healthy, because we want to have fun for a long time together. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can compare doctors next to each other online and book an appointment right there. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Zarna to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Zarna. ZocDoc.com/Zarna. Don't delay on your health matters.
That was literally insane. I just think, Mom, why are you so, sometimes you act like your relationship with Dad, you found him on a co-founder matching site where you guys are like, how to build a life together, let's build a company of life together, and then you match, boom, and then you just started making money, and that was it. There seems to be a lot more to this
I will
story.
say because she mentioned the word co-founder in relationship, and I love bringing this point up. I personally believe that who you date is your co-founder, and I
For sure.
love thinking of relationships like that. It's a very San Francisco mindset. I think a lot of SF people say that, but that's like
Excuse
one
me.
thing I fully believe in.
Let me pause you right there. San Francisco did not come up with this. I had that mindset 30 years ago sitting here in New York City. Like freaking San Francisco will take credit for the sun rising if they could. Why don't you just say Y Combinator sunrise today? Like whatever. San Francisco Francisco did not come up with this.
I'm
Every
just saying.
immigrant couple who has come to
I
America
didn't
has
say they
had that
came up with
mindset for the
it.
last 500 years.
Okay, I understand that your
Bridge, I
emotions
got
are
a
a little
question.
higher now.
What
Yeah.
is your idea of romance with a girl? I'm not
My
talking about
idea.
anything, just romance. What is the
Okay.
most romantic thing you have done in your long-term relationship that you were
I
in?
mean, I've had some very romantic relationships. I've definitely done a lot of romantic things. I've been on some very beautiful dates. I've met with, I mean, my favorite thing to do, I think romantic relationships for me is always about communication. And I love being able to go on a walk with somebody and then have like a nice conversation with them for like 40 minutes to an hour and a half, then coming back, then just doing that over and over again, building that, going to the gym together, doing a lot of different fun, study together, just different things, talk about our futures, everything. Like, I think that's what a
Oh,
romantic relationship looks like to me.
Co-founder of life. Co-founder. I just heard building our future together. I'm not gonna take credit for it or the walks, but we all know
Or
what
the
it
Zoya,
means.
what about
walks.
you? What is your most romantic memory of a relationship?
Me?
Yeah.
Is it me or Didi?
I have not been in a relationship for like years. I can't even remember what a
Come
relationship
on.
even was. I think, listen, I don't know why. I feel so anti-romantic these days. I think I'm just so paranoid about
Didi,
life.
you're too young to turn into like a bitter old single woman.
Bridge,
Like you're
I'm
just too
very
young.
bitter.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
too
but you're too
paranoid.
young. But you're too young. It's not okay right now.
Bridge,
Like,
I
if you're
wake
single
up.
in 10 years, you can say this. But you're too young
Yeah,
to be like
I
anti-romance.
agree. Zoya.
Guys,
You're
I
22.
wake up in a cold sweat panic of like things have not moved fast enough today. That is literally the state of my reality. As
Dude,
mom, I literally like wake up in panic right now.
there
There's
is a big
no
issue in society of like pressure at being so young to be successful and have a married relationship and have kids and everything. Because now that startups and AI and all these things are becoming so prominent, people like one out of every 100,000 people, maybe even less than 100,000, are becoming rich at the age of like 18. I know a kid who made like $2 million at the age 16 just by doing social media. And because of that reason, it's becoming so glamorized to have like get married at 22, be successful by 21, retire at 25. And it's just like not feasible for more people. But it is genuinely like, I'm being very serious. I think this is a very serious issue. Like people now, even my college friends, everyone's like, the goal is to drop out of college. I want to be successful by 20. I want to be Forbes 20 under 20, 30 under 30, 50 under 50, like everything. It's like, it's very, very, very speed related. And I think mom and dad in particular are very not helping towards this, because I think they both are of the mentality that Didi needs to get married at a young age. When I keep saying, and I've said this forever and ever, that Didi has the opportunity to be one of the most successful people in history. And if she succumbs herself to being a married person and sacrificing all the work and hard work she's already done in her life, I will never forgive her for that. And I'll never forgive mom or dad
But
for that.
that's what I'm saying. I'm very paranoid and I'm
He's
working
putting
very
pressure
hard.
on her to marry. What are you talking? Shalab, are you putting pressure on her?
I do. That's true.
I
do.
do put pressure on her.
That's true. I do.
Guys,
And I'm going to go on the record in saying that I disagree with Bridge. I would rather that Didi is married young, which to me is before she turns 25.
Guys, one thing I love about this podcast is anybody who watches this, can we just get a moment of appreciation for how honest we are? You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, yes, I do put pressure on her. Like,
I would be very disappointed if she's 29 and not married. That is
I'm
correct.
very grateful for your
Oh my
candor.
God.
Because I just.
I very clearly told her, if you want to get married and get divorced also, it's fine. This is my new position.
I mean, divorce is not something she can control, right? Divorce happens because she may not get. I'm saying let's put divorce for after marriage. Let's at least have her first get married.
No, but it takes the pressure off, Shalab. Women have been trapped in a situation where they've been told it's a lifetime thing, and if anything goes wrong, it's a complete disaster.
Bridge,
And
why
once
are you
take
so exhausted?
that lifetime
Is
thing
no
out
one
of your
hearing
head-
her? She just said it takes the pressure off to let them know that they can get divorced after marriage. The whole point of marriage
Why
is
get
that you
married?
don't get divorced.
Rich, men have been living without that pressure the whole lives. Do
I
you know
don't
how
know why
many
you say that.
successful
Why do you
men?
Why
say
are
that?
you
How many
promoting this
successful
mindset?
men? The first thing they do, they get successful. They dump the wife. The first thing they do, are they sitting there and thinking?
But mom,
Because
this
you know
isn't
why?
something you should
Because
promote.
they
Hold
That
are
on.
doesn't make it
thinking.
right. I don't know what
No,
you're saying.
you know why it is good for women to think that way? Because then they don't have to live with a mistake. Do you know how many women are married today and living with the mistake they made when they were 25 years old, 30 years later, still trying to make it work?
Okay, I
No,
understand
I'm
telling
sorry,
a
I
married.
do
I
not stand
understand
for that.
telling a married woman saying if you're in a relationship where you're uncomfortable or do not want to be in it anymore, we encourage you to get divorced or file those or proceed with that. I do not agree with the idea of saying, "Oh, don't worry about marriage because you can get divorced." That's like
Yes,
that's insanity. That's
the
insanity.
reason
The
I
point
have to
on
say
married.
that is because
Yeah.
women have been dying under the weight of bad marriages. In fact, you know what? I say 50-year-old women should be part of hookup culture. Go hook up with everybody
No
out there.
one's disagreeing
Everybody
with
you
that.
missed in your
Sure,
life.
they should do that. But the point is that if you're gonna, this is the other issue. Marriage is become so feeble. It's insane. You should be able to have a, if you're getting married to someone, you should be 110% confident that this is the person you're gonna die with. Like it should be that type of level of commitment when you get married to someone. You don't just do it for the tax break. You do it for genuine love and the ability to stay with that person forever. By
What's
promoting and
the
saying
tax break?
Yeah, what's the
the fact that when you
is
get
there a
married, your
tax
tax there is a tax break. That's why a lot of people people with lower
Do we think
status
that
get
the
married
Taylor
very young.
Swift? Do we think the Taylor Swift Travis marriage was a business decision?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think they like each other too. It's not that. I think they do, but them coming together is gonna skyrocket both their values.
I thought
There's
they
no
just
question
loved each
about
I will
it.
say,
Yeah.
I do think
I
the
do think
NFL
so.
is paying Taylor Swift. I'm sure the NFL is paying Taylor Swift to be like to show up to the games, to promote the content, to show up next to Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
Because
to
the amount
attract
that
more women
NFL
into
has
the game. Yeah,
profited,
that makes sense.
the amount of
Wouldn't you
NFL,
pay, like if
NFL
you
has
were NFL
profited.
Bridge, would you not pay her? I mean, it's like a nice,
100% I would. She's
yeah,
bringing a female audience to a completely male-dominated
yeah.
what
It's
she has
like a
done for the
great,
NFL is like we have never seen a one person have that large of an impact on the entire sport aside from Michael Jordan in basketball. It is that absurd how many women are now watching Chiefs games just because they want to see Taylor Swift show up on the television or they're
Okay,
watching
but
a Super Bowl to see Taylor
hold
Swift.
on. Coming back to the topic of what do we know about sex? Okay, what is your biggest fear? What is your biggest fear in having a sexual relationship with your friends, your partners, your classmates? Like, what is the thing that you worry about the most? I want to know that.
I have
Oh
no
my
fear.
gosh.
I
I
feel
have
like, what am I
so many
worried
I
about?
have
fears.
I think the only fear, or I'll go first, I guess. The only fear I ever have is getting accused of SA, which is sexual assault.
So what do
But
you?
I obviously would never, like, I believe that I will never be, because I'm not the type of person to get myself into that situation, but that is a fear, even if I know I will never do anything like that.
Getting falsely accused. That's
Getting
a
falsely
big
accused,
fear.
'cause
Getting falsely accused, yeah.
I do think that it's hard to win a case even if you didn't do anything.
Yeah,
It's
Veer,
difficult.
that's true.
It's difficult
It's
to get, and
true.
even if you do win the case, people will still look at you with a little bit of suspicion.
So has that changed how you interact with women?
Yeah,
It has.
It
In
has.
what way?
like I ask 100 times. I'm not gonna, like, even if I know
Ask
it's
for
a
what?
yes.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean you've asked 100 times? What do you mean you ask 100 times? Mom, did you hear that?
Like,
Why are you making
anytime-
no reaction? He just admitted that he's been asking girls or something. What have you been asking for?
No.
Listen, can you let
Wait,
him,
if I'm-
let him speak?
if I'm
He was
asking a
getting to
girl,
the point that he's like trying to have sex with women at such a young age. He
Veer
clearly was
is
going
not
there.
having
way too
sex.
mature
He
for
was
his age.
he was clearly about to say that.
No, he's not.
That's
having
not what I was
sex.
gonna say.
Wait.
That's
Yeah,
not what I was
oh
gonna
my
say.
God. Like, there's no expose happening here. Just hold on.
Bridge
Okay,
and
wait.
Veer is the most mature person in this 5-person family. We all
You
know
know
that.
what?
If I said the same thing that Veer just said, do you
Yeah.
know what I would be getting like?
Yeah.
He literally just
Veer
said I've
is-
asked 100 times. What do you mean you've asked 100 times? Explain to yourself.
Let him talk.
Yo, let him explain himself. If I'm going to get into a relationship with a girl, I will make sure 100 times that they are fully, like, ready. It's not gonna be like you're on the fence, like, we're getting into this even though, like, you kind of want to be in and you kind of don't, because I don't want to be put into a position where it's like, oh, I was dating him just because he kind of asked and, like, he kind of pushed me into this even though I didn't really want to. That's just a bad position to be in. You can't really do anything once you're there.
Literally, he switched from past tense to future tense, and everyone just starts going, when we really should be interrogating further on what just happened. But you know what? I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
Okay, no,
even
if you
though
want to interrogate further,
would literally have
earlier you were
never-
talking
No,
about
we're
getting
good,
with
we're
girls
good,
at a
we're
party.
good. We're
Would
good,
you be
we're good.
asking for those medical records?
Bro, I mean, I don't do that. Anyways, let's continue with the discussion. And what do you fear? And I want to say something. Now that I'm like recently single, I've been doing a lot of time to reflect on if, like, what do I want out of a relationship going forward? Do I even want a relationship going forward? And I would say for me personally, I think in the near future, maybe a year, 2 years, I'm really not looking for a relationship. I'm looking to be able to focus on my work and have fun on the side.
What do you mean by have fun on the side?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Like be able to like just like have fun, like go to concerts and like stuff like that.
No, but like parties,
No,
like what would you do at
yeah.
those parties?
No, concerts. Like I meant
Like, do you want
concerts.
a date?
So
What
would
does
you
a
do?
concert have to do with anything? How did concerts enter the topic of conversation?
So I
Do
say
you
have fun
want
on the
a
side.
date?
Everyone goes crazy. But when Veer says he has 100 times, no one knows what you guys mean. This is ridiculous. All right, we're moving on. Didi, what do you say?
Okay.
My biggest fear, I mean, my fears are a lot more like I'm afraid of something bad always happening to me. I think a lot of like people, you know, we talk about alcohol. I'm scared of I don't even sometimes the drinking thing is also just me not drinking is a safety issue, right? Like I am afraid of putting myself in a circumstance with a dangerous person without realizing it. A lot of my girlfriends have accidentally put themselves in threatening positions, not so threatening like the things you see in the news constantly, but definitely positions that you would not want to be in accidentally because you really can't trust people. You have to be really careful. I do have pretty severe trust issues.
Yeah.
Period. I
Which
do.
is
I
good.
think
It is good
I
that you have
I
that.
think it's better to be paranoid in general with these things because being more cautious, I do think this is where immigrants really do win in general, is being more cautious has never hurt anybody. It's just it's oh
It has
The
hurt
thing
so
is that
much, it's ridiculous.
yeah,
Because
well, the
let me
thing is that
explain. Let me. Yeah, you
the
can go.
pushback is that you're so cautious always that you're never enjoying life and you're never really
No, not
living
even
and
just that. Also, just immigrants take the least business risks out of like everyone in the entirety. Immigrants are so scared because they had so much difficulty getting to where they need to be and building that life in a new country. They completely sacrifice their own lives, take no risks whatsoever, save as much money as possible so that their kids can have whatever, which is honorable and no one's condemning them for it because that's such a difficult life. But you can't be cautious to the point of where you can't take business risks or you can't chase your passion. And because of that reason, immigrants aren't able to kind of have that like there's more immigrants. I feel like more immigrants could go out and take those business risks, which would lead to massive success for them. And I think because their caution like impedes all aspects of their life and makes it so that they're safer in sexual manner, but then it also decreases their business acumen. It decreases their ability to enjoy other life activities. That's a separate
okay,
conversation though.
anyway, this topic could go on. As we know, when we opened it, we could have gone on today, we could have gone on, but this seems like a good place to put a pause and transition to the next section, which is good grades with Gargs. And in this round, each Garg is going to assign one other Garg an A grade for the winning moment of the podcast, an A grade for the entertaining moment, the enlightening moment, or just a moment that stood out for no reason at all. So, who wants to go first with good grades with Gargs?
I'll go. I'll give my good grades to my A grade in this one to Zarna for having raised kids that are sexually not inhibited, aware, and willing to embrace it as an important part of life as opposed to running from it or being shy about it, which is fantastic.
Okay, thank you for that. It's making me very suspicious why I got an A grade so early in the game because that never happens, but okay. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'm gonna give my A grade to Bridge. I feel really lucky because I grew up from a pretty young age with a brother that was like really good at the dating, partying, like having like he has Riz and stuff like that, and like has
Bro,
helped
please
me.
never say that again. That just made me cringe so hard.
I'm gonna give my A grade to Bridge because I think it helps a lot to be like that, to have a brother that can help you work out situations in an open way. Like I've never been afraid to talk about sex with Bridge, and I'm not afraid with Veer either, but Bridge has historically also helped me with those circumstances, and I'm grateful for that.
I'll give my A grade to Baya as well, because I think it's interesting to have somebody on the other side of the perspective where he kind of like believes in hookup culture. I think it's quite absurd, to be completely honest, but it's good to have somebody to have opposing perspectives.
I'm gonna give my A grade to Veer because he's very, very smart with the ability. He grew up in a situation And where Veer messes up, it'll be a huge problem for our entire family, including it doesn't end with Veer. Like, they're not going to just take it to Veer, they're going to try and crucify our entire family. And for that reason, he's been so absurdly careful. In the ways that I haven't been so careful, Didi's definitely didn't have to be that careful. And that's super honorable, especially since he's clearly been in many relationships, probably doing a lot of crazy stuff with a lot of different women. Like, he's being so careful, it's insane. And I think that's like,
Do that
it's
out,
just,
Bridge.
I'm just saying, I'm giving him an A grade for it. I'm saying it's very honorable how careful he's been with the many, many, many women he's been with.
Oh my God!
Why'd you say many four
What are you-
times?
What? I didn't.
Bridge is
I
just
just gave
trying
him an A grade.
That's like an A grade combined with a Z grade.
That's just Bridge is just
I
trying
gave him
to
an A grade. Like, I don't know.
He was
what
trying to,
character
like-
it is.
assassinate.
Okay, I'm gonna give my A grade to all 3 kids who are open to having these conversations with their dad and me, even though I'm definitely not comfortable with this conversation and dad doesn't know much. So, but still, we muddle through it and we keep making it happen and we keep trying and fighting to keep the conversation alive. And I'm grateful to the 3 of you for not thinking that it's all cringe and it's all this and that, and actually indulging us and getting into it with us and telling us openly what the issues are sometimes. So, with that, we invite all our listeners and viewers to please chime in, tell us what you guys are doing. How are you handling these conversations with your parents, with your kids? What are the topics of interest? What are you afraid of? What are you feeling confident about? Please like, share, and subscribe this episode to our YouTube channel so we can grow our family together. We can have more wholesome family moments together. And until we meet again, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.